Welcome back to At Home in Iowa City. I'm your host, Mayor Regina Bailey. We're back in the studio here at City Channel 4 with the city's Director of Planning and Community Development, Mr. Jeff Davidson. Thanks again for joining us, Jeff.
Pleasure to be here, Mayor Bailey.
We're going to talk about another project that you've been quite involved with, the Joint Emergency Communications Center, and talk a little bit about that project. Just give us a broad overview about what that is.
Well, the Joint Emergency Communications Center has really been a remarkable project, and you've been involved in it, I think, for just about the entire way as well. So it's a project that is going to entail the closing of the existing emergency communication centers in Johnson County. One is operated by the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, one by the Iowa City Police Department, and those will be closed, and a single center will reopen, a new center which will serve all the emergency responders in Johnson County. And this has been a remarkable project because it has involved the cooperation of every single unit of government in Johnson County to get this done, and all of our elected officials, yourself included, deserve all the credit for getting it done.
Well, thanks. But it also involves state officials. And talk a little bit about how we are structuring the funding for this center, because it is truly a joint center, and the funding structure is a little bit different than anything else we've ever done before.
Our state legislators were very important to us in this. They were able to work with Scott County and get a legislative change through the session last year to enable a funding stream to be set up that basically enabled the whole thing to happen. Basically a special levy that's enacted by the county. It's 0.77 per thousand, and what it does is it enables us to fund exclusively the Joint Emergency Communication Center from that source. And I really have to say that I feel like if there has ever been a more appropriate use of a a county-wide tax, this would be it, because every single person in Johnson County will have access to this enhanced communication system, and I mean everyone, and we're going to be able to clear up some problem areas that we've had in the far-flung outreaches of the county. So it's something that really benefits everyone in the county, and it's paid for by everyone in the county.
Okay, so let's back up a few years. How did this project even come together in the first place?
Well, it came together when the city of Iowa City was contemplating replacing their system, got together with Johnson County, and started thinking about the notion of a joint system. They came to the Johnson County Council of Governments. They did an initial study which showed it had some feasibility, then came to the Johnson County Council of Governments, which at the time I was operating, and asked us to coordinate the project. So to get to where we are today, where we have a $22 million system under construction, 5 years ago, it was nothing more than just an idea in a bunch of people's heads. So it's really been a tremendous journey getting from there to here, and a very, very exciting project.
Okay, so talk about the journeys. Talk about some of the key points along the way.
Well, I can't speak highly enough of all of the elected officials that have been involved in this project. As I say, the cooperation and the coordination have been extraordinary, and people have been willing to set aside their own personal interests and really look at this in terms of the interests and benefits for the entire county. And I just cannot speak highly enough of everyone, the 7 board members that we have currently, including yourself. Everyone has just participated to the highest degree. Every single time I have needed help, I have found that help. It's been a great deal of cooperation and people assisting the project, and a very, very gratifying project to work on.
Well, and so in order for us to do this, we really had to bring people around the table who knew what the challenges were with the current systems. And you mentioned that this new communication center will address some of those challenges. Talk a little bit about what we will no longer have to deal with in regard to communications in Johnson County.
Well, we have some issues with emergency responders in certain areas of the county. For example, I am told down in the Lone Tree area, a sheriff's deputy may actually have to walk back to his patrol car, his or her patrol car, in order to get a signal to go out to back to the dispatch center in order to be able to communicate. And that's obviously something that's a huge public safety issue. In terms of our fire responders, there are certain buildings, basement buildings even in downtown Iowa City, that there is not good communication in or out of when they're down in those basement buildings. And again, a huge safety issue for both people being rescued and for the persons providing the rescue. And so we're going to really improve significantly the abilities of this communication system. We're going to double the number of towers that we have, and that's all part of making the system work better. And again, I want to emphasize that it's something where we've looked at every single problem area and attempted to make it as good as it can be. It's never perfect. It's impossible with Communication Center, but a tremendous improvement that every single emergency responder in Johnson County is going to see the benefits of.